I'm with Michael Kershaw and Roger Merino from Chimp, who were third in today's Round the Island race, but are now leading the regatta overall. So congratulations, guys, on that. Tell us a bit about how your race went today. What do you think were the big secrets to success in today's race?
Well, if you don't mind me starting quickly, we with the start, I think a little bit of local knowledge helped. With the bias on the line, we were giving away a significant amount, so we started pretty close to the shore, and we were able to be a good almost 200 meters in front of the people by the pin, although they had a lot more tide. I think we successfully were ahead initially with that in mind. And thankfully, I think Chimp likes the bigger breeze, and as we went down toward the Needles, we were successful. And we were able to hang tough and really duke it out with the front runners, as we were one of the slower boats in the fleet.
Slightly slower in the fleet, but of course we were caught by the time we got to the mark, weren't we?
Yeah,
so,
yeah, we were caught with the Needles, and we also found ourselves on the right side of the fleet that had caught us, and we were just trying to keep our air clean, and a last-minute little shift of thought process. We did a last-minute jibe.
We jibed
right
back
across the back, the transoms of all the boats. Jibe back.
Managed to keep her.
And then had inside overlap.
Reasonably.
Great. So as you came round, you were on the island side.
Exactly.
One of those times when it actually worked.
and then as soon as we had the jib up, we had a clean lane immediately. So very successful in that little last jaunt around the mark. So yeah, we had with the breeze. Like I said, Chimp likes the breeze, and then also there are a lot of half-tonners out there that we've noticed that have a lot bigger spinnakers than we do. so being able to have the breeze, we were able to hang tough, and then when we put the head sail back up, we were again being able to hang in there.
So you held the breeze down the first part of the back of the island, down through St Catherine's.
That's right.
Whereabouts did it start to peter out?
Well, it got light right after Sandown, really,
yeah.
and we were really really trying to keep our 5.5 knots, and really trying to fight for speed more than height. So we were jockeying for position. We found a lot of our team, or our competitors, went inside Sandown and then had to come back out, and we were able to just rumline it at that last bit to Bembridge Ledge. Yeah. And then it really started to peter out after Bembridge Ledge.
Some of us have been sailing around these waters for a long time, so we did have a bit more background on it.
A little bit of local knowledge goes a long way. So you might have
quite a long time.
So you've done more than a few races around the island.
I have actually, yeah. But we were able to hang in with the boats that were otherwise going to be going a little bit quicker normally. And as a consequence, we came up to Bembridge Ledge pretty much up with the slightly bigger boats.
That's right. Yeah, we noticed Concord. They passed us just before St. Catherine's, and then they just went for a march. Absolutely, just gone for it. And then they were able to get around Bembridge Ledge and got up toward St. Helens Fort. And we all said to each other, I says, well, it was nice seeing them. And they did really, really well. Really, really well. We were impressed with that. And unfortunately, the results didn't show that. It didn't show how much further they were ahead. Yeah. But yeah, it was I've done the Around the Island in the Around the Island race, and we all agreed that a lot of the times the race starts again in Bembridge.
Absolutely.
And we all compressed, and all of us lined up again, and off we went, with the exception of Concord. Yeah. And so yeah, it was tooth and nail. It was nail-biting stuff. I
mean, it had gone very light for your final approach into the finish. What was your strategy coming in down that final section to the line?
Well, we came across Ryde and managed not to get stuck.
Yes.
I think, unfortunately, one of our competitors did. And we kept fairly well in, trying to keep out of the time. We were quite surprised that some of the boats that stayed outside did actually seem to do very well, including Indulgence, I think, which
Insatiable, yeah,
which did very well. They managed to keep enough wind to keep it out there,
Yeah, I think that our biggest thing that we were concerned about was keeping the speed. Again, we tacked a lot right at Bembridge to get around the fort and get up tide enough to get around the fort and back in. But I think from No Man's Land Fort to Osborne Bay, we didn't tack. We just one tack, kept the speed on, and all the way into that.
Hung in and followed through. And we were able to pull away from quite a few boats.
Surprisingly.
Yeah.
Through doing that. And the boat was going well, and we just managed to keep it going.
Well, great race today.
Thank you.
Fingers crossed.
4 races down.
Let's see where we go.
Potentially 12 races to complete for the series.
Absolutely.
A lot of racing still to come. Who do you see as your big competitors for the next few days?
You know, I don't really know that we are very clear now what our competitor would be, because it's often been General Tapioca previously, who's won so many things before. They weren't able to do quite so well today, so that's going to make it a bit more difficult for them.
Yeah, I think this double points has turned things on its head a bit. And fortunately, we were successful. If someone told me this morning you're going to have a third, I would have bitten their hand off.
Absolutely.
So I think we were very pleased we did so well with the double points and not being discardable.
Yeah.
And I think that has turned it on its head for somebody. So yeah, I think we're up in the air. We're not sure how we'd go with that.
I think we were saying one of the interesting things about today's race was that it really mixed up the production boats, the Grand Prix boats, the older boats, the newer boats. From your previous half-ton racing experience, is that something that you expect to see in the class?
Well, we sailed the Ramsgate event last year, and I think our experience of that was generally that the boats that had been brought back into shape were the ones that were going fastest.
Yeah.
So in fact, the fact that it was a bit more mixed up today is quite interesting.
Yeah, I think with the windward lures, the boats that the one-offs tend to stretch their legs a little bit, and then when you start reaching the boats and not doing directly upwind, directly downwind, we came to the Needles. We were 9 abreast. It was brilliant. I needed a camera. It was nice to be there, and I think reaching the boat and not doing the normal or the traditional windward lures, I think it does shake it up, and it was nice to see.
We'll give them more opportunity.
I mean, I guess at the time that most of the boats were designed, the windward lured racing format wasn't so prevalent. So many of the boats will have been designed with reaching conditions and an offshore racing in mind. Do you see that as something that you recognise in the boats when you're racing today?
Yeah,
we do. Absolutely.
So
absolutely.
Something like today gives boats that weren't so...
It makes it a more open field, which is great.
Yeah.
It's great for everybody.
I think the PRO, he was very keen on making a fair playing field, and today definitely showed that.
That's great. Well, Michael, tell us a bit about the boat.
Well, the boat is a 1978 boat built in Brittany for the 78 Half-Ton Cup. I don't think it actually sailed in the Half-Ton Cup. I don't think it was successful. But it was we bought it from a really heroic guy called Richard Hatton, who sailed it in the single-handed transatlantic race, the Ostar race in 2005, and back, of course. And then sailed it in the Round Britain and Ireland race with a friend. So he did great, absolutely.
So we know it's got a good offshore pedigree.
It has an offshore pedigree.
Who designed the boat?
It's a very designed boat. So as indeed General Tapioca and Blueberry Pie are also.
He was busy in that day.
He was obviously extremely.
He had a bit on.
Absolutely.
Well, this is your first Half-Ton Classic Cup.
It is.
How do you find the event? Are you enjoying it?
Oh, absolutely. It's absolutely great.
38 boats.
It's a really great time.
Yeah.
Having 38 boats and having encouraged Bo Jansen and his colleagues and obviously the team here at Royal Corinthian. It's fantastic that they've got so many boats to come here. That's It's really great because it makes an absolutely superb event.
Well, it's been very exciting for us watching, as you say, 9 boats rounding the Needles abreast.
Oh, it was awesome.
Some of yesterday's racing was so close, so it's been fantastic for us. So thank you for putting on a great show, and we'll look forward to catching up with you later in the week and see how you get on.
Absolutely.
Fantastic.
See how it goes.